Item I3, C15-2019-0046, 4320 James K.C. Street, Lila Nelson for Benjamin Wu. The applicant is requesting a variance from the Land Development Code.
All right, if the applicant.
Congratulations, new chair. Good evening, board members. My name is Lila Nelson, ATX Permit and Consulting.
Thank you.
Regarding 4320 James Casey this evening, you can see from the map provided that James Casey is a street that runs north-south from Ben White to West St. Elmo. It is in a high level of redevelopment driven by the hospital there. You see some of the zoning districts around there. It just so happens that the property immediately to the south is the only, from my research, is the only single-family zone tract on the entire street now. There are other single-family uses, a couple more to the south before you get to San Elmo, but they're all zone LO. This zoning, as you can see, has tremendous zoning capability. In the short term, it is intended to be used for medical type uses until the longer term is to eventually assembly and GOV. So I'd like to call your attention to page 19. See that little flyer there? You can see that the previous owner actually had material laid down there for parking to the south property line adjacent to the single family. None of that was legal. My client, Mr. Wu, is now set forth that his intention is to make everything legal in the first step, is to get a variance so we can park, not build anything with a parking area in that southern area of the property. And the next step is to hire a civil engineer and do a proper site plan. We do have support from that single family owner to the south, and to my knowledge, there's no objection to the variance request.
All right, thank you. Is there any opposition? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Before we move to any questions of the applicant, just to clarify, in our agenda here, it says compatibility height requirements, but it's in fact setback that we're discussing.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, are there any questions of the applicant?
I had a few questions. So what was this structure used before Mr. Wu purchased it?
Well, it was actually used. I found record of a chiropractor and a couple of tenants in there that were actually there illegally.
And then how far away is the actual residential use?
There is
so
no.
the L shape around you is zoned SF3.
Yes.
Is it used SF3?
Yes.
And then next to that, if you're going towards St. Elmo, what's the house uses?
I believe that one is actually a commercial use. It's either I'm not quite sure, Ms. Hawthorne, if there is a commercial use, one or two structures down.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Yeah, Brooke?
Just quickly, I'm going down Street View, and it looks like the majority of those are used as single-family homes on that street, on that side. One has a circular drive, but I don't know that it's used for a business. But other ones seem very clearly to be single-family uses.
To the south.
Yes.
That I believe all of them are single-family use except the one that we were just discussing. They're all zoned LO.
It's
the use is still single-family.
Yes, it's yeah. So that's what we go off of, is the use.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Question. You were asking for a setback variance on the south side, but your application says the west side? Or
It's
is it
south
both?
and west.
South and west?
Because
Okay.
it's an odd thing that single-family lot to the south is kind of an L shape and it wraps back around to the west. There's nothing on it. It's just yard. But technically we need a variance to the west and to the south for parking only, no additional structures.
How many parking spaces are available without this variance? Looks like there's some parking in front of the building.
I think the architect gave me some language on that. I think we could only probably get 2, maybe 3, if we can't get this. You see, there is an exhibit,
I'm looking at page 16.
the one that's existing conditions. Page 15, existing condition with compatibility setback. You can see we probably only keep those 2 on the north end of the building. There's a driveway there that was originally going into the garage of that structure. It's probably only 2.
Okay.
Any more questions of the applicant? Yeah, Kelly?
Yeah, you mean only 2 on the currently paved portion of the site abutting James Casey, right?
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
You mean only 2 spaces could be accommodated on the currently paved portion of the site abutting James Casey?
Correct, but without the variance, there will not be any more paving. We can't do any more paving.
Even in front of the site? I mean, like in front of the building?
I don't know.
But that would probably need a waiver for the back out
Yeah, maybe.
on that arterial, or
And they'd
I'm not
also
sure
need
what
a
it is.
curb cut approval.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it might be able to happen, but that action of backing out
So
is
it's
something that
showing
would
it
have
looks
to
like
be-
3 in the front. And what is the use going to be of this
Office.
office?
It-
So they don't really know because I guess it'll depend on who they lease it to? Because
Yes,
different
it's
types of office obviously have different
It's anticipated to be some
parking.
sort of medical because that's
Okay.
what's happening there.
And so is he parking for the max for medical, or is that what he's going off of as far as for his requirements? Is that what, medical for that building is based on square footage you're parking, and medical has different requirements than just some of the other office uses. So is this the correct number of parking spaces that you're showing that you're requesting that would be required for a medical office?
Let me show you on, I think that is page 16. Do you see it that I clearly labeled that proposed parking not site plan approved? This is kind of a cartoon just to show you where we would want to lay down pavement, but that's going to be up to the civil engineer on what, and the uses that we go back and put in that building to match the parking that we can get. I don't know that we're going to be able to get 8 spaces. I don't know that we will. This is just a, wouldn't it be nice, but it's not approved yet.
Can I understand your argument that
Done, when you're done.
I'm sorry. Can I understand your argument about it being a hardship? Because as I read the application, it's basically all the zoning around you is changing, and it's a matter of time before things change on this lot, and therefore you need to be prepared, and you want to have additional parking so you can use it for an office.
Correct.
Okay.
May I?
Okay, any more questions?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead,
So,
Melissa.
did you meet with the neighborhood association? I mean, the hospital, I understand that the hospital is expanding and things around it move, but there's a lot of single-family homes still used here regardless of what the zoning is, and I don't ever remember them being very shy. I feel like that I almost, in terms of just with the configuration of the site and the placement of the building, I'd be interested to know if any of the head and back out parking could work on the front of the property. And I kind of feel like even though it's 110 feet in length on the frontage, that I would be interested in perhaps trying to equate it to the smaller site compatibility standards where instead of 25 feet, it's 15 feet, and what could actually happen with the lot. I really would prefer to hear the case with some neighborhood associations support, or at least that you've talked to them.
Okay.
Can I move to postpone?
I'd second that. And I just want to say, it seems like a speculative variance to me because you don't know. You don't know what the parking needs. You don't know what it's going to be used for. And so you could be coming back to us in or you can't come back, but in a year wanting a different variance for parking because it's a speculative variance.
Yeah, I was going to say as the movement that I'm only saving you from just getting straight out rejected because this doesn't seem, I don't know where your hardship is. Now I'm thinking about what other people are around and the front of the building. Please come back with definitely a better workup, I would say, and really focus on that hardship and making sure that you can't find another way, especially in front of that building.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
I do want to clarify,
Yeah.
this is not a request for a parking variance. This is a.
No, I understand. We
We understand,
All
but
right,
you're
thank
wanting
you.
to place parking in that.
Okay,
in the
we-
setback.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Okay, let's call the roll. This is to postpone until,
Is that enough time to September 9th?
is that our next?
I'm going to try for that, and if I can't get to the neighborhood, then I'll just get with Elaine and we'll postpone again.
Yes, ma'am. September 9th?
September 9th.
Brooke Bailey,
Yes.
Jessica Cohen,
Yes.
Melissa Hawthorne,
Yes.
William Hodge,
Yes.
Darlene Burwell,
Yes.
Rob McDaniel,
Yes.
Daryl Pruitt,
Yes.
Veronica Rivera,
Yes.
Yasmin Smith,
Yes.
Kelly Bloom,
Yes.
Denise Hudak.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we're moving on to